All right, everybody, Michael here. Today we're going to be starting off a new series where we look at what our congressmen and women are buying and selling in the stock market, okay? Now, before we get started here, I just want you guys to understand what the filters are, then we'll zoom in so you guys can see everything a little bit easier. We're only going to be looking at buys and sells, not exchanges and not receives, okay? We're going to be looking at all trades that have money above $15,000. If it's below $15,000, we're just not going to worry about it. Most of the time, we actually just do over $100,000. And then the last thing, we're looking at crypto, ETFs, stocks, and stock options. Those are what we're looking at as far as sells and buys, okay? So let's zoom in here so you guys can see exactly what's going on because it is quite interesting. First of all, we have a bunch of Republicans over the last few weeks. You can see right here, David Kustoff being one of the few buys here. If you guys see right here, most of this stuff is selling. He bought Clear right there. Let me open this up for you guys. Clear Secure Inc. Over the last year, it's actually gone up a little bit, but you can see the market's been doing fairly well for it so far since he's managed to buy it. After that, we have Mike Garcia selling Tesla shares back in December. I bet he would have wished he actually sold them today when it was breaking some nice levels. Now, we got Michael Burgess over here selling Stryker. It's also selling Stryker again, about at least a minimum of 200,000 in sales. We got Gary Connolly over here, a longtime Democrat, Litios Holdings, selling there. You're seeing a lot of sales. Hardly anything is actually being bought. You can see Kevin Hern over here selling lots of stuff. The only thing he seems to be buying is Devon Energy and Pioneer Natural Resources. These are two things I've talked about buying for a while, and you guys know how I love my Pioneer. They are very high interest dividend plays, which means they're great for market environments like this. And so he's probably just making some money on the side, letting those dividends roll in here. But you can see a lot of other Hilton stuff, he is selling off a lot, and that kind of matches the slowdown that we've been seeing in the economy here. Even Wynn Resorts selling off that as well here. You can see Tommy Tuberville here. There's a lot from Tommy, a lot. He does have one buy in Barrett Gold. Gold is interesting because it's not really what you want to be buying in if the market's doing very well. You tend to use it as a hedge. Buying there, Disney sell, PayPal sell. Lots of PayPal sells coming out here. And you even got one PayPal way back over here before he started selling it off, one buy, which is kind of interesting. And of course, buying more gold and he bought more PayPal. He eventually got rid of all those PayPal earnings. Probably didn't like the way the trade was going for him. Now, after this, we got something interesting. He did buy Qualcomm just to sell it a few days later. Then we got some Nancy Pelosi ones. Again, these are all sells, and I believe these are all from her husband and not actually her. If I zoom out one more step, I think we should see something in here as far as that's concerned. Filed after, type by, let me zoom out one more time. There we go, joint. So these are all done by her spouse, who is very, very smart, who knows everything Nancy Pelosi knows, basically. And you can see selling. Netflix, Alphabet, PayPal. Alphabet's earnings are this week. They're on Thursday. So that's not a good sign for that. More PayPal selling going on. Roblox selling over here. Tesla selling going on. Walt Disney. Everything is being sold. And if we go over here to Jim Levine, or Langevin, sorry, I can't pronounce his name properly. He did buy some Generic Holdings Inc., but it's an undisclosed who actually bought it, whether it was him or his wife. So those are some of the plays I think you guys should be paying attention to. You guys can go down here a little bit more and see what the other Republicans like Mark Green are buying. This is energy, iShares through Treasury, some of the more boring stuff that really doesn't have the massive moves, but still pretty nice to buy, right? More of like, hey, something bad could be happening here. And then we go over here one more time. You can see there's some Democrats at the bottom, some Republicans mixed in here. Republicans are selling Intel, which crashed the other day. If you guys remember, Medonic not doing so hot as well. Virginia Fox buying some iShares preferred. Nothing wrong about that. And Debbie Dingle buying Meta. This is interesting. She bought it back in the 19th, and it has popped up since then. But now, now she definitely has been selling that one off. Or excuse me, she sold it before it actually pumped up. That's a good look for her. And then we have last here, we have Alan Lowenthal, Chart Industries. Again, his spouse bought it, which is pretty interesting as well, but only $15,000. I don't put too much there. If you guys want to see something interesting, John Hickenlooper, check out Liberty Media Corp, Sirius XM Group. That's going to be interesting because there's all this drama around the Taylor Swift stuff. He bought it back in December, which was interesting. So we'll see how this works out over the next few months, okay? Have a good day, everybody, and I hope you guys will check out what your congressmen and women are buying because it's pretty interesting stuff.